you do that.
Today, we're going to turn this cattle panel hoop coop into a mist propagation greenhouse. We're going to bring you along.
First, we got to take it out of this goat fence.
Michelle and I built this chicken tractor a few years ago to raise all of our meat birds in. And now that we're not currently growing out meat birds, we decided to put it to a different use. And we're going to raise it up a little bit. We're going to bring it outside this goat pen. Going to cover it in shade cloth, put a timed mist controller system in it to mist propagate some cuttings. And we're going to go ahead and get busy taking this tarp off, taking these cattle panels off, and then we're going to lift the frame and put it over the fence.
Stuck on the wood.
Yeah. Stuck on you.
Just be careful, don't let it hit you.
Stuck on the wood, like I'm stuck on you.
Hold on. You know what? Let me get the golf cart. You can put it over the roof of the golf cart and let it fall. Ouch. Scratch my face.
Good thinking. Good thinking, baby.
All right, ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
All right, made it past.
All right, so let me get the golf cart again.
No. There's nothing for it to lay on.
The roof.
If you can space it far enough over that board will land on the roof.
Well, the middle can go right here. So we can flip it up using the roof for it to go over.
All right, do what you need to do. I'm not fully understanding, but go ahead.
So you gotta have, you're gonna hold, are you gonna hold?
I'm holding. You're walking better.
Huh?
You're walking better.
Thank you, baby. Okay, let's do this.
Ready?
Hold on, no, not ready at all. We gotta get all this wire. Okay. All right, so we're gonna grab this from the middle. Maybe I should let you get this in.
We need one more person.
Can you get under it like I just did? There you go. Through the wire it'll go. All right, give it a good push. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Woo! Yeah, that's how you do that.
No, let's not let it go crashing. Let's control it if we can.
I'm flipping mine.
Because I don't want to bust the frame after we spent all that effort getting it over.
This one's coming off.
Ready? 1,
Ready.
2, 3, go.
There you go.
That's how you do it. All right, so we got the chicken coop dragged over in the shade underneath these shade trees where we have shade all day long. I'm going to build here. The propagation hoop coop is going to be in this area anyway, so that's why we're here. I've got my tools set up. I went and bought some pressure treated 2x4s. Since this is going to be under constant wet conditions, I don't want my boards to rot. So I got the ends stood up. I still got to put the screws on this end. We're going to come up 18 inches and we're going to build another frame all the way around, and then we're going to put the cattle panels on top of that 18-inch extension. It's going to give us more headroom. It's going to give us more vertical up the sides for growing. On this build, just to start out, I decided to do one propagation bench in there, 24 inches wide, 10 foot long. That should be plenty to get us going, get us started, and gives us plenty of options to expand later down the road. So let's go ahead and get to it. So I want to take the time to tell you that if you have a warped board that's got a twist in it, you can screw a 2x4 to it and then pull against it and then put your screws in, and that'll help give you some leverage while you straighten everything up. And that's what I'm doing here.
shit, yeah. And it's the way that you look at me, makes me feel like I can't breathe. It ain't right, 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 it ain't. You've got me all in my feelings, like I could die without you next to me. It's the way that you look at me, makes me feel like I can't breathe. Ain't right, right, ain't right, right, ain't right. Oh no, it ain't right, 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 it ain't right, 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 it ain't right. Oh no. You're calling my phone, but I'm all alone. Staying faithful and I'll never know when you're coming back around. When you're coming back around. Right, right, it ain't right. 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 Right, right, it ain't.
All right, before we go any further, let's talk about some of the things that I've been doing and that you've been watching. We just finished the build of this bench. I brought it up to 36 inches so that for me, it's a comfortable height so that I can work like this. And I kind of did the same thing on my potting bench, my workbench in the shop. I don't do the traditional low 30-inch countertop height. I put it where it's best functional for me, which is about right in here somewhere. And that way, when I put my plants up there, it's easier for me to tend them if they're up here than if I have to bend over to maybe pull a weed or something. So that's the reason for the height. But we've went 38 inches to the top, and then I kind of ran out of treated 2x4s, but I had a little piece left over, so I put in a support right here in the middle and put one leg under there. So that is the purpose of just being able to provide a little support so that the boards over the entire 10-foot bench don't start to sag under weight. Because whenever I'm doing transplants or when I'm doing cuttings in here under mist, I intend on doing them in sand, which is heavy, especially if it's wet. And then that's going to be a lot of weight on this bench, so I've got to support it well. I went to my sawmill and I sawed out some cypress that I had over there. Cypress is rot resistant. So I just put it on the table saw, put it on my crosscut saw, and just made me some slats, and I put some gaps in there for the water to drain through. I didn't put any bench down in the bottom because I'm going to leave that for future upgrades or whatever that may entail. I may eventually go back and put a bench under there to put some more flats under there for grow out once they start growing. And I may just leave it for taller plants to get under there. I don't know. I'm just going to leave that the way it is. This open area right at the bottom here, I'm going to be putting some field fence that we took down from the pen earlier. From here to here is about 2 foot. I got some 3-foot fence. We're going to put that around there, and that's just to keep chickens and cats from getting in here and getting into my plants, which I don't want. Next, you saw us put the shade cloth over the top. The shade cloth is about a 50 to 55% shade cloth. And it's under these pecan trees right now, but I'm going to be moving them around in the yard. As my cuttings take root, they're going to need more sun, but I don't want them to have the harsh sun. So this whole entire grow house, or the propagation house, is on wheels and casters. So I can tie a rope to it and I can drag it all over the yard wherever I need it. So I can put it in partial shade, I can put it in full sun, but I know that shade cloth is going to be something that I'm going to use a lot of. So I made it longer on this side, shorter on that side. If I have trees over there, maybe like my grafted apple trees, I can put them under here for a little partial shade, but then leave it open to the side for a little more sunlight. So that's a possibility. I don't know how all that's going to play out. I just tried to be more as versatile as I possibly could doing this build. Next, we're getting ready to do the irrigation. I went to Amazon and I ordered the kit off of there, and I'm going to link it in the bottom. I'll link the shade cloth that I got off of Amazon. The shade cloth is a 12 foot by 12 foot. They sell it in various sizes. I don't know. I didn't know then what size I really needed, but I figured with a 12 foot by 12 foot, I really couldn't go wrong because my pen is 12 foot long, and then I can adjust the shade cloth however I needed it. I was kind of nervous about putting it over this chicken wire because I knew that where I tied the wire together up from under the pen, there may be some things sticking up that would grab that shade cloth. I found one right at the very top, but other than that, the shade cloth just went right over the pen smoothly. Better than I thought it was going to be. I thought that was going to be a real struggle, and it wasn't so bad. Today, we're turning this cattle panel hoop coop into a propagation greenhouse. I missed.
Okay, so tell them about, after you tell them that it's going to be a propagation greenhouse, tell them about how it got in here.
Yep, I was going to do all that.
Okay.
I was going to do that intro like that, and then you play the intro.
We'll
and then
do it a little
start the
bit
story.
more relaxed. Today, Michelle and I are going to take apart this chicken tractor.
Cattle panel hoop coop, cattle panel chicken tractor,
There you go.
and turn it into
That we put
a
inside the goat fence.
Mist Propagation Greenhouse.
And turn it into a Mist Propagation Greenhouse.
Did you hear that? You didn't pause. You got to pause for the intro, remember? So you can
That
clip.
was the intro.
I know.
That's
then
right.
there's a
You
pause,
didn't do that.
and then you rolled right
You
in.
didn't tell them that we have to take it out of the goat fence in the intro.
No, I didn't.
That's right.
Now we're going into the story.
No. So start over and tell them that we got it. This is what we're doing today. We're taking it out of the goat fence.
Okay. Today we're going to be turning this cattle panel chicken tractor into a mist propagation greenhouse. But first, we've got to get it out of this goat fence. We thought it was a good idea to put it in here with the goats, as we had initially had the goats in it for a little while. And now that
You
we've...
didn't pause.
I'm rolling right into the story.
I know. You got to pause. Oh my goodness. Do it one more time, but please pause.
When do you want me to pause?
Right after you said we have to get it out of the goat fence.
Okay.
That's our introduction.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Today, we're going to be turning this cattle panel chicken tractor into a mist propagation greenhouse. But first, we've got to get it out of this goat fence, and we're going to bring you along, and you're going to watch the entire process.
No.
How about you do the intro?
How come you change things up all the time? And you're going to watch the entire process, or I'm going to whip your butt. Don't tell them what just say, hey, this is what we're doing.
All right. Today, we're going to be taking this cattle panel chicken tractor and turn it into a mist propagation greenhouse. But first, we've got to get it out of this goat pen. Is that good?
Perfect.
Thanks.